What up, fellas? What's going on, people? Welcome to Down South Football Live, new edition for a Monday night. We decided to go live, man, with so much going on today with SEC COVID or COVID SEC, however you want to call it. We're normally at this time recording our actual recap from the weekend, but we want to do a little something, hopefully a little interactive. Hope y'all can chime in on a few things. Talking about COVID a little bit first, then we'll just talk about a couple of games, and then we'll get in and we'll get out. Let everybody have their night back. But Chauncey Tuck to the right of me this way, right of me on the screen. Then you got my boy Ben Dennis at I am DJ Double Dose, and the man Mr. DL Gardner, David Gardner at the bottom. Fellas, what's going on tonight?
Not much, man. Hanging on to know what's going on, man.
Watching this whack game of
reading these reports, you know what I'm saying? That's all.
No, we not.
We got going on right now.
Man, look, this has been one of those wild weekends and one of those wild days. Man, I don't know what to say, but let's start where it started this morning, man. With the COVID, with the SEC. It started with LSU. Give y'all a little background for those y'all that's just tuning in, man. LSU has a lot of COVID-19 cases going on. Apparently, according to Ross Dellinger, this all stemmed from a Halloween party. After they got their thumping down in Jordan Hare, they apparently went back that same night and went to a nice little Halloween party. So they got a nice little COVID issue that spread throughout the actual team and staff. The Alabama game is not canceled or postponed right now, but I will say this. They were saying that if this game is postponed for some reason, they don't see how it's going to be made up as far as like the schedule and stuff like that. But Greg Sankey came out this afternoon and said that teams that are not involved in the division race or SEC championship could play a game a week after the SEC championship. Of course, that wouldn't be Alabama.
That wouldn't be them.
But, talking about like this Auburn Mississippi State game that's been postponed and a couple of things like that. But we got LSU with COVID issues. We got Arkansas with COVID issues. We got Texas A&M with COVID issues. And of course, we got Mississippi State with COVID issues. So I posed a question to the group, and we can get it started right there. Do you guys think that a lot of these COVID that we're having, because Alabama doesn't seem to have that many, and a lot of schools have many, do y'all look at some of this as far as like a reflection of the leadership, or you just think it's just a sign of times where we are? And y'all can just go ahead and chime in. We'll start there first.
I think for me, when you look at some of those schools that you named outside of Arkansas, two of those schools that you named are kind of like, could it be at this point that they finally just like frustrated and just like, you know what, season gone, it don't matter. Maybe not so much as the staff is getting loose, but that whole you got so much to play for with the players, it's just like, yo, man, we 2-5, 3 and whatever. I mean, we know we probably will go to a bowl game, but it don't matter. And at some point, you get tired of following all them restrictions and all them rules when you really ain't got nothing to play for, so to speak. And like we said earlier before we started, football ain't fun when you're doing all that practicing and shit when you're not winning. It's not fun. It's fun to go through all of that when you're winning and you got something to play for. But when you ain't got nothing to play for, football ain't that fun, man. And especially going through the extra that they going through right now because of all the protocols and everything they got to deal with. So,
well, I'll respond to that, but Arkansas is winning.
That's why I said with the exception of Arkansas.
No, Texas A&M is a top 5, top 10 team. They still in the actual quote unquote West hunt. I don't think it's a winning thing. I wonder, is it more of a rebuttal of culture? That's what I'm asking. So on that particular thing, Dave, what you got?
I would say it's a combination of a lot of things, but absolutely, I agree that it's leadership. It starts at the top. I mean, your leader basically controls, and as you can see, when you don't have leadership, we all know what happens. So I think that's another thing. I also will contribute some of this is that right now, from what the professionals are saying in the medical industry, this time of year is going to be something they were expecting a spike anyway. So that's number two. number 3, I wouldn't really say that kids don't care, or they may be doing some stuff because they don't think they're gonna win anything. But bottom
Kids gonna
line
be
is,
kids.
kids gonna be kids. And Renard, you and I, we all saw a video. After the game, they had a kickback. That's just kind of what they do. You know what I mean? Because we kind of disagreed on whether we liked it or not. I hated it. Like, you go out here,
Right.
you barely win, and you want to go to a kickback with a red cup. So
Right.
you
Right.
know what I'm saying? and take chances of exposing yourself, your team, your coaches, everybody to what's going on. So I think, to answer the question and kind of rewind it down, number 1, I say absolutely, I believe it's leadership. Number
Right.
2, I would probably attribute it to maybe just a national spike that's going on in the U.S. And then number 3, kids are going to be kids.
Right. So
Pretty much everything that Dave said, I was gonna say. So I'll give him kudos for being smart.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, hey, that's what you coming out talk tonight.
So, but yeah, just like Dave said, the main thing is leadership. That's the number 1 thing. I think if you got to have your kids under some kind of control. I'm not saying bubble, because kids are gonna be kids, but you're gonna have some upperclassmen that's gonna be like, "Hey man, y'all need to get y'all stuff together, because this is we still got a season to play for." Even if it's not for a national championship or an SEC championship,
right.
or nothing like that, you still got a bowl game to play for. At least that much. The dignity is still left in that program. It was highly irresponsible for the kids at LSU to go to this Halloween party. But however, you got your ass beat.
Allegedly, no, we gotta say allegedly.
Yeah,
We gotta say allegedly.
Allegedly, but however, you got your ass beat on that Saturday night prior to. And I'm gonna go out there and party. I ain't got nothing else to do. I ain't gonna sit here and cry and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, that was part of their problem. But also, I think some accountability efforts within the person with the members of the football team. Those leaders on the football team got to step up and say, "Hey, guys, don't do that." You know what I'm saying? Don't do this, because your coaches ain't gonna be with you 24/7. So some accountability got to be to those upperclassmen, got to be associated. But with Texas A&M, I mean, you knew that was gonna happen with them, because every time they score a touchdown, they kiss each other. That's in their tradition. It was gonna pass around no matter what. And I said that beforehand. Look, this was before the season. I said this is going to happen if they play football, because you're not gonna stop kids unless you don't have kids on campus. That's the only way you're gonna be able to stop this from spreading and stop the football season.
And we said that in the beginning. And I think that was one of your biggest concerns in the beginning. So when we were talking about it over the summer, about if we were going to have a season, I mean, because you were on the fence of it wasn't even going to happen because of kind of what you're seeing now. Like you said, once you bring everybody back to campus, as time goes on, it's going to be harder and harder to keep them kids away from everybody else in other activities. I mean, like you said, the college kids.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me go through a few of these comments here real quick and see what a few other people had to say. Let me see. Now, this one right here, this one not really true about the lockdown, because Trey, if I understand right, when they off that week, when they at home, when Trey Sanders got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then that's what Aaron is saying. Like,
yeah, he wasn't in Tuscaloosa.
No, but I'm saying he's saying Bama not on lockdown. What when somebody was saying lockdown, I think Kip said lockdown, and then I think what Aaron was saying was that they're not on lockdown, or Trey wouldn't got, but that's not true. They was actually at home for the off week.
Yeah.
So that's not. I mean, they do get to go home for the off week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's not anything new. That's not anything different. Let me see what else we got. Rod said, "Despite doesn't have to be inevitable, though." That's very true.
We're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. They still don't know the difference between the flu and COVID. I mean, based off what?
To be honest with you, the flu season really has not even touched.
Flu season has not even hit it, but like I will tell you, I will say this about this particular comment. This is not disrespecting anybody like that, but when you're talking about having similar symptoms, yeah, but you talk to some of these people who still can't smell, still can't taste, then had it 3-4 months later,
Mhm.
maybe not knowing maybe like the symptoms that occur. I'll agree with you on the symptoms, but I don't know.
I think that's what he meant more so, like, because like you said, those symptoms initially,
Yeah,
it's
they
hard to
vary.
decipher. You know, it's hard to decipher between the two initially. Now, of course, like you said, once it goes past a certain point, it's like, okay, that ain't this ain't the flu. This
Yeah,
that Rona. Like this
it is crazy how the symptoms are kind of like
are similar. Mhm.
yeah. And then let's see, your boy Knight, what did he say? The NBA have all this. They was in a
I told them they
bubble.
was in the bubble. Yeah, they was in the bubble.
I
Yeah,
mean, that's the thing. If there was no kids on campus, if
right.
that was, then they kept these guys in
This
the
fool
bubble.
said a halfway house environment.
Damn them. No, he ain't lying.
They damn near. That's why I said they were secluded. Like they was
Yeah,
to
that's what I'm saying,
themselves.
'cause, you just don't you can basically, if you cut out.
That's a
Like
good
what
question.
NBA cut everything out. They cut nobody could get in. You had to have bands. The NBA was prepared for it. They had a plan, and they executed it perfectly. They had no COVID issues. Could get then later on the season, then they started letting people get in. You had to do all those COVID tests and all that stuff. So they executed it well, but you can't do that on a college campus when you got students there. There's no way possible.
And for Sean's question, I think it's a good question, but they were also talking about that today because they are encouraging and pushing the college football playoff to push their deadline back
Yeah.
and to be more flexible. But at this point right now, they're not being flexible, and they're saying they're going to look at it and see where they are. But if you look at like the Pac-12 and the Big Ten, the reason why they're having these crazy protocols and trying to fit all these games in with no flexibility is because they're all trying to get to the college football playoff deadline.
Yeah.
Whether or not they think they're gonna make it or not, that's a whole nother thing. But let's move on a little bit. We done talked about it for 10, 12 minutes. Let's talk about a couple games from this past weekend. Hey man, well, that was the Cash App. Hold on, that was the Tito's Redmont Vodka
Mm-hmm.
Cash App game of the week, right?
Right.
Congratulations to Dave and Ben for picking Texas.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. But before we get into the games we really want to cover, West Virginia, 4th and 1, 2 times inside the 10-yard line, kick a field goal, bruh. What we doing, bruh? What we doing? Kick a field goal. But man, I want to go to Virginia to shout out. As I said on Saturday, Liberty, man. Liberty was a 17. I want to thank Liberty for 2 different reasons.
Okay.
Of course, the first reason is always monetary with me, but second reason was, man, Malik Willis, man. I love what Hugh Freeze is doing with you, man, playing towards your strength. They had ball control with Virginia Tech, man. And that game had some crazy twists and turns in it with them blocking the field goal at the end of regulation and running the ball back to seal the victory for Virginia Tech, only to find out your coach, Justin Fuente, had called a timeout.
They gonna learn about that damn time out. When they gonna learn, dog? When they gonna learn?
I think the word is never. And then to come back and for the game, so Hugh Freeze said, okay, well, I'm not going to kick the field goal then. I'm going to put my offense back on the field on 4th and 6.
Bro,
deal with it.
That's what I'm saying. You call timeout. You call a timeout. You give them a chance to think about it, and that's what happened. Hugh Freeze,
right?
Like, you start playing those numbers and stuff. Like, you know what? I might could get this first down. And what happened?
And but could they play any more off on them on them receivers at the end, bro? They gave him like 10, 12 yards.
Yo, right. Look, I understand keep everything in front of you, but bro, come on, play the stick. That's all you got to do. Play the stick, keep everything in front of you, cover the middle.
That was it.
Game, guys.
That was it. But man, I know that's not one of the games we really wanted to highlight, but I definitely wanted to go in there and talk and give Malik and Liberty and Hugh Freeze the props, man, for what they doing. You
And
know what I'm saying?
as Dave would say, Hugh Freeze is on what day? He on
He on
fire
fire.
right
He on
now.
fire right now.
That's Virginia Tech and Syracuse. You know,
Yes.
That's 7-0.
They
7-0,
7-0, bro.
but I'm just bringing up that Virginia Tech and Syracuse because, like
Oh
you
yeah.
said, that's just, you know, as we see, there are certain teams who can't beat bottom feeders. So look, they are having Liberty is on fire right now, man. You got to give them their credit, man.
And I'm talking about the kahunas to go for it on 4th and 6 because once that timeout was called, like I said, it wasn't like it was 3rd down, 1 second. It was 4th down. So if you don't get this, bro, you don't get this, you done.
Right.
You done. Got it, moved it, did it. Hugh Freeze smiling.
I mean, I guess he was looking like man, look,
what I got to lose.
I'm underdog. I'm on the road. I mean, you got to go for it.
Liberty will be my new best friend whenever they play, every week. But let's move into this next game, man. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the cocktail party that was not. They needed a cocktail.
Hey, that first quarter was nice for Georgia, but after that,
you knew in the first quarter that Georgia wasn't nowhere in hell. Stetson Bennett was going to keep up a Florida offense. You knew they would do. From the kick-off.
They scored 14. I mean, they scored 14. You know what I'm saying? Zamir came out there, you know what I'm saying? One play tutty. I mean, you know.
No.
I mean,
no.
Stetson not it, bro. Stetson ain't it.
No, he's not it.
He's not it, bro.
Not at all.
Yeah. Get that aftershave, Stetson. That was their name off of.
Man, look, when Stetson got hurt, he did his shoulder like this. I said, well,
First of all, he got the you know what knocked out of him.
Yes. And I was like, okay. Trask was the first half. Trask kind of played like he was human a little bit this game.
Yeah.
Then the second half, they turned up. They did not turn back. And so. Offensively, they was clicking on every cylinder. Florida defense actually looked like the old Florida defense from like where Will Muschamp was there. Hey, and Will Muschamp might be going back to Florida beat DC. Who knows? But anyway,
yeah, that seat is past on fire, bro. That's a volcano eruption under that seat.
Yes.
But you know something too. I was gonna say too, but you know something to your point about Florida's defense. When you got Grantham in a situation with a quarterback like that, he finna feast, dog.
Yeah, but I mean, he blitzes 87% of the time anyway. So
I know, but I'm saying with somebody like Stetson that you know,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna feast on that,
like
man.
I told y'all last week, it's no way in the world this man is 5'11", 5'12". He's 5'9". Because that's why I was like, he can't see over.
Aaron said he can't see over the line.
He can't see over the line. That's why I was like, look, we always talk about Drew Brees and his height. Thank you. That's why I was like, I didn't even see the goddamn comment. Yeah, he can't see over the line, bro. And he just like, I would say, hell, he'll do a Bo Nix interpretation of hell. But he'll say, hell, he's down there somewhere. Hey, but he wasn't in the game. And that's some more controversy that's going on.
Right.
You know, it's Georgia, yeah, you really look, we thought you were who you were. Alabama proved who you were, kind of, sort of. But now,
we know where you are.
And then with all the injuries on Georgia's defense, it's starting to pile up on the as a team.
And I think that was the point that I was going to go to next. I think once you figured out all those injuries on Georgia defense, safety was already messed up. Now I ain't even talking about LeCount, talking about the other safety. Then you had all those guys out. You had Jordan Davis in the interior. You had Julian Rochester, all them guys. Monty Rice was hurt. All them guys, man, like Georgia's backbone is their defense. I think, you know what I'm saying? So, like, when that was messed up, you already know it's going to be a problem, especially the way the game came out. It's like, no, Georgia, this can't. No, if you can't lock them down, if you can't handle it, it is what it is. But before we can talk more about this game, I got to get that hit in there. I got to get
on Pittman.
Between Pitts and Sign, however you say his last name, bro.
Yeah.
He was headhunting, dog. It was,
ain't no way around that. That was.
he gathered himself. Let me tell you,
Right.
he saw him coming over the middle. He gathered himself, looking to knock his head off, and then he almost killed himself in the process.
He did. He was down too.
I was like, man, you're trying to get hurt too. So,
Hey,
But you know, man.
Go ahead, Dave.
Oh, I was just gonna say, man, as a defensive back, shoot, you that kid probably been pitching that hit all week long. Doc. Pitts coming across the middle. Oh, I'm gonna lay his butt out.
Because he
You know,
picked
I'm
up,
not-
look, he went off because it was cover 2. I remember they were playing cover 2, and he had that deep half. And as soon as he saw Pitt, if Stetson could see over the line, he had the deep route. I mean, not that. I'm sorry. If what's his name? Trash looked across, and it wasn't his target receiver. If Trash would have looked, he had a wide open touchdown. But with Pitts coming right across that middle, they say to peel back. He was waiting on it.
Mm-hmm. Laid him out.
That was dirty, bro. That was dirty.
I'm telling you, but I don't feel it was as dirty. I'm gonna go and tell you why, because Sign is what, 5'11", 6 foot maybe.
I mean, I get it.
Pitts is what, 6'5", and what is Pitts doing? Soon as the ball coming, doing this right here,
I got you.
moving the target area, and it ain't like we out for a Sunday stroll. I'm
not saying he launching or nothing.
No, I'm just trying to figure. We gotta figure out a way to get this big dude to the ground, because if he come in there soft,
right, he gonna shake them off.
But you can't go targeting though, bro.
That's my point. He's already launching. Well, he's already going into his tackle. He's already breaking down, and Pitts is getting lower. So what if Pitts is not getting lower? Then where's the target area?
I mean, the only thing you can do hit him low. That's it.
Right.
Coach, you tell me you can't run without legs. Take them legs.
But most guys will tell you that even though it was a concussion, most guys will tell you they rather take that thing up high than low.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
they rather take it up high than low.
But in all honesty, he hurt himself more than he hurt.
He did because, like I said, they both was laid out, and he was sitting there. They massaging him and looking at him, and Pitts over there looking like
he was over there looking at Sign was over there looking at Jesus and Mary and trying to figure out where he was at. He didn't know.
Okay.
He thought he was standing in the living. He thought he was in the living room, bro.
Hey, man,
he thought he was at the house in the living room.
I'm in Atlanta, right? They like, no, dog. You in Jacksonville, man. You was in Florida.
Come on,
hey, I just want to say the Kip right quick. He said that he okay. He beat the all turds. Let's get this straight, okay?
We out of this.
First of all, we didn't have half our defense that played in that game. We're not even gonna talk about it right now. That's not even a.
Why we rehashing this?
I'm just saying. I just wanted that to be known.
I
didn't want to throw that out there.
I love Kip. Kip is like my God, brother. It don't matter if Auburn go 12-0 and win every game by 6,000 games. They will always be the AU turds to him. It doesn't matter. Okay.
You want to throw that out there. That does not mean nothing because Georgia would beat Auburn. That doesn't mean that.
I love my God, brother, to death. I just know that it don't matter. When it comes to Auburn, he is a great football coach, by the way. But when it comes to Auburn and his hate is up here. So that's why when he say stuff about Auburn, I'd be like, okay, I already know what it's going on. I have to let that go. But Trash, man, you got to give Trash credit, man. 30 or 43, 474 yards. He had like Arian said, he had 300 in the first half. So, man, Trash is balling. Would y'all have ever thought this time last year you would have heard the word Trask and
Trash is right.
Yeah, he's up there with Mac Jones as far as
and Dave, you locked in, man, because they should be headed to Atlanta, man. And I don't foresee a scenario that they don't make it to Atlanta.
Another thing too, Tuck, you didn't think it wasn't you that said you didn't think they were gonna get rid of Will Muschamp this year. I think it's gonna happen though.
Oh, now it is definitely.
Yeah. You remember I pulled up the hot seat list.
Yeah, I mean, I really thought that he could pull out some games, but
he ain't pulled out nothing. Nothing.
Auburn saved his seat for a little while.
But like you said,
for a little while, but
That
I
and
think it's one of the things. Well, some people just bet off as coordinators, man.
I don't even know is that. I just know like you have to ask yourself outside of Spurrier who has won consistently at South Carolina.
New Holtz.
I don't count Hope.
Boy, you go time.
Man, you better clean your screen when Hope was talking, bro.
Just get the mirror. Just get the towel. Let's wipe it down.
And I guess my question is just like Kip just said, you know, they talked about Hugh Freeze. They did talk about Hugh Freeze in South Carolina. I can dig that, Sean. I did hear that too.
Yeah, if I'm Hugh, I'm holding out. I want a better job than that. Damn it, I'm holding out.
Wait, first of all,
Whoa.
let's pause that for a second.
I'm finna gamble it.
Let's stop right there. You can't gamble on nothing.
I'ma gamble it.
Let's not forget the hooker and the school phone. Okay,
And we know the money bag, but that's all right. I'm gonna gamble it.
No,
Y'all just said, but look what y'all just said. Y'all just said who was able to win at South Carolina besides Spurrier. Y'all just said that.
No.
So if I'm Hugh, I ain't even finna go there. Nah, man, I'm gonna hold it on, man.
Okay, hold on there, DJ Double Dose. Tell me who Hugh Freeze is holding out for that's gonna morally take him.
Shit, might be Florida State.
It might be Florida State. Hey, look, at this point, man, right? Whatever got you
Hey,
Canisius and Tulsa and whoever did all of that magic, bring their ass to Tallahassee, man.
I promise God.
Mess around and lose a couple of these games. You gonna be his best friend gonna take his job.
Look, Norvell job is safe. Why y'all hold him?
Yeah, we know. We ain't on that tip, but we just saying.
I would say this.
He's safe this year.
To be honest, I mean, because the boosters have stepped up at South Carolina. They have new facilities. Right. They have all this other stuff. Like, I'm not saying Muschamp is the answer, but hell, they didn't think Dabo was the answer either. True. They didn't know. I mean, everybody always said Clemson was going to be middle of the road. They're going to be Clemson. And
he had to lose a record.
Yeah. So I'm saying, my point I say that is like, we always say, well, we don't know who can turn around. And if you had asked somebody a few years ago, is he going to turn Clemson into this national power? Then you'd about like, nah, I don't think that's gonna happen. But you just never know. That's just how it is. So I don't know. I'm hoping good thing for Hugh Freeze. I hope he doesn't learn. But I who else? Where is he gonna go? I guess I asked that question. Where else he go?
I mean, right now it's hard to foresee it, but as we all know, folks get fired quick.
Look, Hugh Freeze went to that nice Christian school down there. You know, they prayed for him. They got all that sin and out of him.
Until the president of the school then got in trouble with his own sexual.
But hey,
I digress.
He took that job and delivered. The Lord has touched him.
Shut up, fool.
And that's gonna be South Carolina. Go Cops.
Shout out to Hugh Freeze, man. Hey, Hugh Freeze, that name started to buzz. Hugh Freeze, that phone wasn't ringing about a year ago. That thing about you gotta start getting some text messages real soon, brother. Real soon.
He on fire right now.
He on fire.
I'm a little doo-doo.
Hey, I know one team that need to be called. That's Michigan. That's who need to be called.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
We might have time to get to them. They
kick them ties, man.
I have a whole nother list for them over here.
Bless safe, man. Bless safe, Marion. He played Clemson to a blessed sake.
Bless who?
You know, I call Dino Baby Black Underwood, brother.
Oh, you talking about Syracuse? Yeah. My bad.
They say.
Kept talking about Pruitt, but Pruitt just signed the dumbass Tennessee just gave him an extension this offseason, so that's a whole nother issue. But before we move on, let's talk about Clemson and Notre Dame, man. Let's get into this double overtime crazy. And Justin Tuck, for y'all that didn't get to see Justin Tuck on here on the live show on Wednesday, on Thursday. Go and watch it on YouTube, man. Justin Tuck, 2-time Super Bowl champion, 2-time All-Pro, 10-year NFL vet, was a great guest to have on, man. And it was fun learning more about John.
And Coosa County upbringings that the Coosa County upbringings that Sean doesn't tell us about.
Right.
Because we keep that in Coosa County. Because whatever happens in Coosa County, stay in Coosa County.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Go ahead, Tuck. I know this is your part. This is your boys. So, well, part of your boys. Clemson versus Notre Dame. Right. I know.
Yeah. So, I mean, they basically did everything. The game plan was perfect. I have to give it to the offensive coordinator. If Ian Book throws the ball down the field, and he took care, one big thing Ian Book did was take care of the ball. Mm-hmm. I said, no turnover. If you ain't got nobody open, throw that ball out into the stadium somewhere. Don't take no chances. He didn't take no chances. I told you the defense was going to be pretty stout. ETN was not going to run on Notre Dame defense. I had a feeling.
Right.
Now that inside gap, they love to run.
Not the inside gap. Another thing, Clemson, can y'all please take that late that roll out to the right and throw back screen out of y'all repertoire, because everybody in the stadium knows it's coming. You're looking like Gus on that play because everybody sees it coming. Anyway, I believe the Notre Dame defense stepped up. I think it was a good game. I ain't gonna lie.
They were physical. They were physical.
Yeah, they were physical.
Right.
Notre Dame defense was no slouch, and they were hitting Big Cinco. They were tagging him. I mean, Big Cinco, he had a good game. I think he had 400-yard passes. I think.
He did.
Right.
And it's a lot of people going around saying, "Hey, if Trevor Lawrence would have played, the Notre Dame still would have lost." Trevor doesn't play defense.
Right. That ain't the reason why they lost that game. They had jack to do with DJ.
Trevor Lawrence was not gonna fill that gap when that boy took that ball on the second play and took that thing to the house.
Right.
So Trevor Lawrence doesn't do that.
So can we now, and I'm gonna let you get back to your point, but I got to say this. Can we now tell a certain person that watches this show all the time that my prediction about Turner was gonna cost you? I told you, bruh. He's a good, intelligent player. But bruh, every time they were looking to get that matchup, even the commentator said that Brian Kelly been talking about during the week, we got to get this matchup on this guy. And it's going to happen every game. And God forbid, y'all want to do something if y'all think y'all finna go down the playoff somewhere.
Well, on another group that called the Sports Lounge, he does his analysis, and he wants to bring the safeties down to be corners. Yeah, go right ahead.
Go right ahead. It's the reason why they're safeties.
Those guys are not even right out.
It's the reason why they're safeties.
That was his analysis for them to bring the corner, the safeties, to be cornerbacks.
I'm looking for my glasses. Where's my mark?
It's the reason.
I was like, that's one of the dumbest analysis I've ever heard in my life.
Because think about it, like you said, some guys that are safeties are there for a reason.
They're safeties for a reason. They can't cover. They play shed. That's all you do. Okay, but anyway, shout out to Notre Dame. Appreciate y'all coming through. Like I said, it was hit and go for a minute there, but again, Ian Book stepped up, and in this game, I said if he throws the ball down the field and not those little pop passes and not those little screen passes they've been doing the whole year, he was gonna eat up that secondary. So shout out to Ian Book, man.
Dave,
and I think I'll go ahead, Dave.
Then I go to you, Ben.
Well, when I look at this, I want to take my hats off to Notre Dame defense, even though they gave up 40 points. But man, you have to realize what exactly they did, and I can tell you, if they came into this game and saying that Travis Etienne is not going to beat us.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They held this kid to 28 yards on 18 carries, bro.
Anybody but him.
Anybody but him. Anybody but him. Now, it almost backfired. Because that damn DJ, he can sling it. And the kid, I saw one mistake, a little young rookie mistake he made. He had one guy streaking down the middle of the field, and he chose to go 2-0, yeah. So, but that comes with time. I told y'all that he would look better this week. QBR 89.7, no turnovers, no interceptions. He threw for 439. But what I really liked about Clemson was that they realized that ETN was being took away from them in the run game. But what did they do? They started to throw it to him.
Yep.
They just throwing it in the flats. That ain't nothing but a long handoff. And he was one step away a lot of time. Or one
few
tackle away.
times.
A few times. Get
Hey,
to
Dave.
the house.
Dave, not a tackle, a shoestring
A
tackle.
shoestring tackle. I'm talking about, but man,
Exactly.
I get it. Trevor wasn't there, so they said, well, if we got to pick our poison, we're going to let the freshman. He's going to have to be the one to beat us, but ETN ain't going to be.
Right.
Nobody else in the country will do this. Other than maybe some other folks. But I don't think nobody else would probably do this to ETN. 18 carries for 28 yards, bro?
No way.
No,
Ain't
no way.
No,
Go
that
ahead,
ain't
man.
happening.
And I think to just to follow up with Dave's point, I mean, that was the most impressive thing to me, was because you knew going into this game that it was like this. We gonna take him away. What is DJ going to do? And Notre Dame was able to just continue to scrap and answer the call time and time and time again. And shout out to Karen Williams, man, because we're talking about Ian Book, but man, Karen Williams, man, he was toting that thing, man.
And
3 TDs, a buck, and he been doing it all year.
he been the engine.
He been the engine all like he to Tuck's point about what he worried about with Notre Dame early on in the year was how Ian Book was going to handle things. But when you got Karen Williams and he's been, like you said, he's been the engine, the way he's been, I mean, he's taken somewhat of a load off Ian Book and he's allowed him to kind of be free flow. And man, I give Notre Dame their credit, man. They truly came into that game with a game plan on defense and they wanted to kind of have a balanced attack on offense, man. And it all came together for them. I mean, it was a great win.
Baby Gronk they got out there too. Out there, the tight end.
Hey.
Let me ask a question, Renard.
What's up, Dave?
I'm looking at Notre Dame scored 47 points, even though it was 2 overtimes, but still they scored in the 40. That's their high for the season, right? Clearly, right?
I think so.
So what was it that led to scoring 40 this game, and all the other games you've been struggling on?
Especially the Louisville game.
They do the ball down the field. They ain't do them little punk ass pop passes. That's what I'm saying. Ian Book can throw. He can. You gotta let him throw the ball down the field, man. That's all I've been saying the whole year. And after that first game, when they were throwing the little 2-step and turn and throw the ball, let him throw the ball down the field.
Yeah.
They could have been doing this, bro.
Brian Kelly, I think number one, you could tell by the way he was talking in the pregame, in the press conference early in the week, that he was very, very confident about what his team could do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he saw this matchup. He saw the fact of Clemson was already kind of a little bit, shaking on the defensive side, especially the back seven. Then they saw that, what's the name ain't playing? What's the linebacker name that started with the S tuck, the middle linebacker, Skowski or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He's the hardest soul of that defense. They saw that Mike Jones wasn't playing.
Mm-hmm.
One guy suspended for the first half too on defense.
Xavier Thomas, the one
he was suspended for the first half.
The boy said it wasn't that important, and then you also had one more player one more player that was out. But I think he saw matchups that favored his offensive line and favored his confidence, and said, like, I think we can get this game. I think he knew that. He told him before the game, he's like, when we win and the fans rush the field, I'm gonna need y'all to come off quickly. Like he was on it. I think it was just one of them games. He just kind of knew what was happening, saw the matchups and everything. So,
he knew, number one, he know the type of caliber running back offensive line he has, and he also knew that Venables' son is at linebacker. So the fact that he at linebacker, I feel good too. Look, I can't take Baby Venables, man. I can't take Baby Venables.
But look, he ain't as bad as DeCallie. But he might be close. Because Baby Brooks is bad too.
Boy,
I had to get on camera, brother.
Baby Venables.
Go on camera.
Baby Venables.
Baby Venables.
He got 3-4 stars. Don't get me wrong. He did decent. waiting to get in the game. But he gonna be like, hey, son, go show.
Hey, son.
Go show something like that.
Come on now, damn it.
Come on now.
Come on now, damn it. Get in here. Shit.
Hold on. But I just gave you 2 linebackers starting linebacker that was out. Okay, because you know if 47 was in the game, you know it'd be different. You know if Jones in the game, and then Simpson is more like a Isaiah Simmons than he is a middle linebacker. Venables will be great in a 2008, 2009 offensive game. Like I'm a big linebacker side to side. Like I can do that, but I can fill the gap. But you talking about what he got going on right now?
But he been playing though. Man. He been getting burned over the weeks. He been getting burned.
No. He been playing because they've been up 60-0.
Well, yeah. And he came in last week though, but it was tossed out. True.
He was like, you know what, son? I'm going to give you a reward just for playing that good. I'm going to put you in there right
Don't forget the other Venables was out there too.
It's more than one?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
Maybe that's why I feel like I'm seeing them more. It's more than one. Maybe look, man, I thought it was just one. You know, y'all done told me something too.
Oh, God.
I thought it was just one. My bad.
I knew about the one he put in the playoffs last year.
Oh, Lord.
Hold on. I got this.
You might well put.
Somebody said, put your headphones back in. You killing them. Said your mic is killing me, bro.
But it's about what you'll be all right.
Oh boy,
dude. But I mean, shout out to Notre Dame though, for real. Like I think Notre Dame. I think we all know this. When we hear Notre Dame big game, we always just say, like you already think they gonna.
Right.
But if you looked at that game and looked at that team, yeah. As long as they can run the ball and they can control the tempo, they're good. Now, I don't trust them in no real shootout, but I mean, I think they're a really good, solid team. They're a good team, which is what you want to hear.
Let me ask you this, as we talking about it now, because I guess a few of us didn't picture the scenario being this way around with Clemson actually losing.
Hold on, Ben. This is the truth. That's the truth.
I'm about to say the same thing.
Yeah, should have put a little Herbies in. Because I forgot they on the team too.
Yeah, Herstreet twins walked on too.
They on the team too.
Oh Jesus, what is going on around here, man?
We got the baby Venables and the little Herbies.
Oh God.
We need some bobblehead dogs.
Oh man.
Okay. Go ahead.
But what I was gonna say was a lot of people thought that this was gonna go the opposite way, where Clemson was gonna win and Notre Dame was gonna lose, blah blah blah. Now, if you get into a scenario where, of course, they're gonna play again in the ACC championship game. If Notre Dame loses that game and Clemson's their only loss, are we gonna exclude them from the playoffs?
Yes.
Exclude who?
You think so?
Yes.
Exclude who?
You saying that with conviction?
Yes.
Exclude who?
Notre Dame. If their only loss ends up being a rematch to Clemson, that's their only loss. If they rematch to Clemson.
Yes, they got to. I mean, you're not gonna.
I don't know, dog. Because there's not a viable second SEC team you can throw in there right now.
Put it like this: you're not gonna want. Nobody wants to see a Notre Dame Clemson 3.
But nobody wants to see
Notre Dame one of the biggest. Notre Dame, as far as alumni, is one of the biggest schools in the country. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, but they're gonna bring a lot of money to the table. But they're not even gonna travel. We're talking about TV stuff now. Ain't nobody want to see that. I'm telling you, nobody's gonna want to see a Notre Dame Clemson 3.
It's a possibility, though. You got to.
There's a possibility. I'm telling you, man, because right now, with us having a question mark about the Pac-12, or if they have a legitimate team to make it, you talking about Ohio State, possibly Clemson, Bama, and when you start looking around on who you gonna name for their fourth team, and they only loss is to probably a number 2 or 3 Clemson.
I mean,
that's gonna be hard to ignore.
When you really break it down,
go ahead, Dave.
When you really break it down, you got what? You got Ohio State out the Big Ten, probably.
Right.
You got Bama,
right,
and the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
You got the winner of the Clemson. Well, in this,
we'll just say Clemson in this scenario.
Mm-hmm. Pac-12, nobody's coming from there, and Big 12. I don't see anything.
They just shot themselves in the foot already.
Yeah.
You looking at you looking at a Cincinnati possibly.
Possibly. Yeah, no. They're not to me positive. And then don't we all joke and say about the Pac-12 or whatever.
Don't sleep on Oregon.
Don't sleep on it. If Oregon runs that table and convincingly beats everybody in the Pac-12, they're gonna put.
But you know what I'm banking on? I'm not banking on the fact that whether they'll be good enough. I'm banking on number one, the number of games, and plus minus the number of games they're going to actually be able to play. You see what I mean?
So I understand that.
That's the only reason I say that.
But see, but Alabama now, quote unquote, if this happens with this, if they postpone Alabama this weekend, Alabama have 9 games.
Correct.
Oregon will have 8.
But Oregon had been but Oregon has to play because they only got an 8-game season, right?
Right.
So that means that they will have to have no suspensions. I'm thinking they're probably going to miss at least minimum 1 week, if not 2.
Well, they could, but I'm just at the same time. Well, at the same time, let's say if Oregon does have 8 games and they like I said, they run the table and beat everybody, just like handily. They're gonna put Oregon in there over. They'll put Oregon over.
It's 2020, bro. I'm not gonna sit up here and say anything.
Right. I mean, it's just. I know because I know a lot of people, a lot of us thought that it was gonna go the opposite way, but now if you look at Notre Dame's schedule the rest of the way, they very well, could, like I said, run the table, and their only loss could just be the Clemson.
I got another scenario. Let's just say hypothetically, you got Florida and Bama.
Okay,
Florida beats Bama.
That's what I'm saying. All right, but
now then, that's another scenario right there. If that miracle happens.
What about Texas A&M?
Texas A&M is the outlier that nobody wants to talk about.
I really don't want to talk about, but I really don't. That's where I'd be avoiding.
Look, the only loss will be to a number 1 Bama. They're not gonna put. Look, I know the ACC. They're not gonna put 2. I don't see them putting 2 ACC teams in there. Well, quote unquote ACC teams. I just don't see it. That's
ACC teams for 2020.
For 2020, yeah, I just don't see that happening. I really don't. ACC is garbage. Is any conference it is.
I will reserve judgment until I see the first college playoff
to see where they go.
To see where they are. But before we decide just to lock this up for the night, I know we didn't go through a lot of games. If there's another game y'all want to hit us in the comments. But there's some people that need to be put on a list here. And let me finish my list. Michigan State, Michigan, Penn State, all y'all ass come to the woodshed. Your punishment is waiting. Because I don't need to see you no more this year.
Especially Michigan. Like,
Penn State Penn State, I'm with you with Michigan, but
at least Penn State got a semi-excuse. Michigan ain't.
Excuse.
I mean, like you said, man, they missing a lot of folks
because they hurt. I mean, that's part of the.
I'm part of the game, but I'm just saying at least they got I said a semi. I ain't say it was definitive, but Michigan got all their damn people for the most part.
Do they?
I mean, we thought they had a quarterback in week 1.
They don't have a coach. They don't have a coach.
This was
one thing you need.
This was my woodshed.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Everybody come. All of them can come to the woodshed. What we're gonna do in the woodshed? We're gonna lock their ass up until
it was a good topic. No, I'm sorry.
Until they ready to come on out the woodshed and say, y'all ready to play football again, or y'all just gonna do this? And Michigan State, it looks like y'all might be hiring another coach again. I want all y'all to come to the woodshed because it don't look pretty. It just don't look pretty. At Arizona State, you can come to the woodshed for a couple days for blowing that lead.
Dude, just the ball was in, just catch the freaking onside.
Shout out, shout out to David for picking the Trojans. He was the only one of us that rolled the Trojans. But I appreciate Arizona State for the other efforts on the other end. But They cover the 12. That's all I care about. We good.
You know what? I'm only gonna watch one team for the rest of the year.
Who was that?
At BYU. I don't want to see nobody else play. Just give me BYU.
We gotta
And
talk
I'm
about Zach Wilson. We gotta talk about
Man,
Zach Wilson,
oh
man.
my God.
Yes, sir.
Was spinning that thing, boy. If he's not invited in the last 4 of the high, look, this might be throw away.
And then he look like a little 10-year-old. Have y'all seen him with a helmet on?
Yes.
He like 10 years old.
Have you heard him talk? Come on, guys, let's go.
No,
And it's
I ain't
odd for them BYU dudes because they know, and look, because them BYU dudes knowing to be old as hell. So it's like, because they've been on one of the mission for 2-3 years, so they normally old as hell.
Let's go. Let's keep on.
But the guy been spending it, man. Like you can't argue that he's not top 2 or 3 quarterback in the country. Just what some people, man, you see the ball come off their head, and you just like, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And he had a pass like that Friday night in that blowout of Boise State, man. I feel sorry for them because they had to go out and find the schedule because y'all know who they play next, right?
Mm-hmm.
They play UNA.
Mm-hmm.
Like they going out finding.
They're trying to find
people.
What they
Right.
don't. UNA got to travel. I'm sure. Maybe.
I don't know if it was there. I don't know where it is. I'm sure it's probably at BYU. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure.
Let's call hypothetical.
Hypothetical.
Let's say if the LSU Alabama game gets canceled,
Okay.
can BYU this?
I want to see BYU and Liberty.
That now you know what? No, you just said some shit right there. BYU and Liberty.
That'd
be BYU will kill them. I ain't gonna lie.
It'll be must see. It'll be must see TV. It'll be must see. And look, I know we got to go, but you know some Indiana. They actually play Ohio State in 2 weeks.
I like Penix and what he do, but
I know. I'm just saying. They play Ohio State in 2 weeks. They play Ohio State in 2 weeks.
From the research department, BYU. The
What'd
game
you
is
say?
at home at
Provo.
It's in Provo. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they have a 0.2 chance to win. That's UNA.
Yeah, that's not even a percent.
That's kind of high.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking for like 0.0 and some more tenths behind that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you got to throw a numerical number out there, I guess is what you got to do.
I guess some North Alabama alumni said, "Hey, we have a chance," you know. But no, like I said, I'm looking at like you said, they got UNA, and then they don't have another game after UNA till December 12th, and they play San Diego State.
Yeah, that's their last 2.
And right now, Mountain West just started back playing football. They're San Diego State's 2-1. So
right.
I mean,
it was, but we didn't talk a lot about the Pac-12. We got to talk a little bit about Pac-12 before we get out of here.
Right.
Just talk about a little bit out there. Oregon and Stanford, man. That game kind of went how I thought it was going to go. That quarterback, he. I'm not gonna say he impressed me, but I can kind of see what they like in him. With Oregon and Stanford, man, and. I did y'all see anything Saturday? I'll tell you, Arizona State, USC, Oregon seemed like the class. It seems like it's them 3 and everybody else. Am I wrong about that?
I was right as of right now. I'll just say Oregon and USC for right now.
Okay, and then maybe Arizona. I like what they're doing. I like what Herman's doing though.
Right, Arizona State. Yeah.
But them only playing, thank you, Aaron, for correcting me like you always do. They're playing 7 games this year instead of 8. So,
you was counting the championship
game, right? What I'm gonna say. So, unless they run the table, I think ASU might be out.
Well, I was just talking about as far as quality of the team.
Quality of the team just left. Yeah, it's just like it's just them 3.
Look, Cal is trash. Utah, they lost everybody.
We didn't get to see Cal or Washington because the game was canceled.
Yeah, Cal, right.
Right.
Washington, they're not going to be good because they switched to Adidas. I mean, I just don't see no.
What's they took? Was they not? What they got to do with the price of tea in China? To quote Renard.
I didn't find that out till last year too.
They switched to Adidas, so they're gonna be trash. Oh my God!
I tell you, ever since I told you about that show, it's gonna be.
We're not going there with you took.
4 Nike teams or 3 Nike teams.
In Notre Dame, Adidas.
No, they're Under Armour.
They switch. Okay, yeah, you're right. So who's left with Adidas? Is just Tennessee?
I think Miami. Is Miami still Adidas?
Miami went back. Who's left for Adidas?
Miami was Adidas, Texas
Yeah.
A&M,
Louisville, right?
Louisville, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Trash.
I can't.
But bottom line with Tuck, you might be right on that one. Hey, we went to the research department on that one.
I'm done, man. I can't.
Arian said it's 7 games, including the championship.
Oh man,
that's the
I can't with
basketball.
y'all.
These schools don't make it in the Final Four. That's a different thing.
Oklahoma's not Adidas still, are
They're
they?
Jordan schools.
No, they Jordan.
Yeah,
Oklahoma Jordan.
They
Jordan now.
Like
They
Michigan.
Jordan now.
Yeah. Because I saw some fire Jordans on them that they
From
had.
Oklahoma. I remember them
man.
showing that. Yeah.
That's all y'all. That's all y'all can get me is on them shoes. I guess that's the same way they get them kids too.
Exactly.
But is there another game that y'all want to talk about, or another team y'all want to hit on for this past weekend that maybe did? Oh, shout out to Maryland, man.
Yeah. Yes.
Ooh, keep it going.
Oh, that's your boy.
Keep it going.
That's what I'm talking
Hey,
about, man.
Loxley done tighten that belt. Said y'all thought I was gone.
You know what? Y'all thought I didn't. Y'all must have forgot with the Ron Jones. Y'all must have forgot.
Y'all thought I was the ball coach, huh?
Yeah. We know Florida is Jordan because Mullen always wearing Jordans.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, is there anybody else that we want to hit? Shout out to De'Aaron King, man. You still doing your thing, bro.
Man, nigga, he put the whole team on his back.
Literally.
Leading passer, leading rusher. Hell, if he could have threw it to himself, he would have threw it to himself.
That game was touch and go too for a little while.
Yeah, boy.
Like, oh no.
Slovis at USC. The quarterback at USC, he's following up his nice little freshman campaign, doing his thing, man. But hey, man, if nothing else, y'all just make sure y'all be safe out there, man. We got some really good college football games coming up this weekend. But I would tell you this: keep an eye on all these schools who said they got issues because
they got COVID. Because that Bama LSU game, we'll see how it look. We'll look at it again by Thursday and see how it's looking.
Well, maybe not even that long. But definitely keep an eye on them. See who else? Texas A&M said they had some. They playing Tennessee.
Right.
Who else? Of course, we already talked about Mississippi State. Auburn's already canceled, and there's a few other ones that, man, just make sure y'all just keep an eye on them, bro. Just keep an eye on what they doing. If y'all ain't got nothing else, man, we appreciate y'all coming in for the live. We just want to do some more interaction with y'all, man, talking about the COVID stuff and this and that and that and this. And man, y'all make sure y'all take care of yourself. It's flu season out there, like we already talked about, and just make sure everybody's staying healthy and watch some football, man, and do what you need to do.
Stay at the house.
But if anything else, man, we have to get out of here, man. This is your boy Bernard Williams, and I got to the right, left, depending on where you're looking at, Chauncey Tuck. Then we got the main man at DJ Double Dose, Mr. Ben Dennis, and down there chilling in his new. I know y'all see them new aesthetics behind him.
I know, man. He keeps switching it up. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, camera, we can't see the flag. I need to see the flag.
Is that Fly Eagles fly?
That is hideous.
I had to get that on there for Kip. Like Rod said, wear your mask. Arian said,
wear your mask, man.
Mask up.
Hey, man, it's real out here, brothers.
Little known fact, Dave actually went to the Tennessee forest to get that wood paneling behind him. Real.
He had some help with Pruitt.
Hold on. Before we go, wasn't there a bet for a bottle this past week?
Yes,
it is a bottle bet. Yeah, Crown Apple is on the way. Crown Apple is on the way. You know what I'm saying? This is the second time he done fooled me with Texas and they lost twice.
Oh my Lord. I was pulling me out the first and a half, and then I just started losing. And all of a sudden, I don't go with y'all.
Ooh.
And it bid at all the people.
Sheagles?
The Sheagles?
Oh.
You know what? That's NFL talk. We'll have to do a whole nother show about that.
He a Cowboy fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's why sometimes you got to learn about the comments. Sometimes you don't even address them.
My.
Well,
But look, man, y'all crazy. But I thought about that. I was like, man, that was a game, but
It's a bottle.
I can remember the bottle. But so you owe him a bottle of apple juice. I mean, Crown Apple.
Crown
Yeah.
apple. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Sam
if
Ellinger brought it home.
anybody with Red Munt or Tito or even Crown, if y'all like to donate, and get them to be another sponsor of the show,
we'll gladly take that.
we would gladly take it. But if y'all want to see anything, man, for real though, holler at us, man.
Let us know.
Anything y'all want to do, let us know. Or we about to be out, man, and we'll holler at y'all later on this week, probably live again for the prediction show. If anything else crazy happening, we might come back. But we out, fellas. Y'all be
All right,
good.
man.
Peace.
Holla at y'all.